Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a part of the NFLPA when the time comes. What this all revolves around is a deal by a company named Fanatics.
The Marvin Harrison Jr. situation just got worse, and I know what you guys might be thinking. How is it that everybody on YouTube is always in a situation? There's the Marvin Harrison Jr. situation, the Justin Fields situation, the Mr. Beast situation, which, believe me, I've been tempted to relaunch Flight Mike TV just to cover that story because it's been crazy. But I kind of have my hands tied with sports, and I'm much more interested in sports. But this is a brand new level of pettiness that I wanted to cover today. I thought it'd be resolved at this point, but it's not. So before we get to the content, we're giving away copies of Madden NFL 25. All you have to do to be entered is subscribe and turn on your notifications for this channel. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! NFL season's finally here, and PrizePicks is hooking us up fat with a brand new deal. New users that make a lineup of $5 get $50 guaranteed. All you have to do is go to the link in the description down below, download PrizePicks, create an account, and use my promo code Mikerophone to get $50 guaranteed when you make a lineup of $5 or more. I give away my picks each and every day on my Instagram account @TheFlightMike, and thank you PrizePicks for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Marvin Harrison Jr., in my opinion, was one of the surest things in this entire NFL draft. I mean, just by the way his father was preparing him through the pre-draft process, telling him to skip the combine, and the reason they gave whenever he skipped the combine, which was primarily to focus on the regular season and not so much on trying to impress teams at the combine. The way Marvin Harrison Jr. moved always kind of gave the idea that he knew more about the industry than the average rookie coming into the NFL, and the reason for that is because his father is a NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion. The man's an 8-time All-Pro. I don't remember the last time I saw a player drafted within the top 5 of the NFL draft whose father had the impact on an NFL level to the scale that Marvin Harrison Sr. had. And as a result, you can just tell the way Marvin Harrison Jr. moves is completely different than the average NFL player. And in some cases, people are fine with the way Marvin Harrison Jr. moves, and some people don't really like the way he's moving. Regardless, this hasn't really affected his draft stock. He was drafted number 4 overall by the Arizona Cardinals, which in my opinion was one of the best situations for him. The only better situation would have probably been to go to the Los Angeles Chargers, but even if he was on the board, I feel like the Chargers would have stuck with their original pick. Regardless, Marvin Harrison Jr. is in a situation to have a generational rookie year with the Arizona Cardinals. His quarterback is already proven in Kyler Murray. He's relatively underpaid for his position as well. And aside from the San Francisco 49ers, there's not that much competition in the NFC West. And that's it. Video over. Just kidding. You might be wondering, why am I making this video? Well, if you happen to be a fan of the Arizona Cardinals and you already are sick and tired of your Kyler Murray jersey, you might be thinking, okay, I'm gonna go and buy myself a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey. This jersey is going to be iconic. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. for crying out loud. This guy is a sure thing. He dominated at Ohio State University. He's gonna dominate with Kyler Murray on the Arizona Cardinals. So you go to NFLshop.com or Fanatics.com, or you just Google Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey, and alas, you're not allowed to buy the Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey. Why? Because there's a huge game of he said, she said going on here. And to be honest, I try my best not to come off as biased in these videos, but I really am rooting for Marvin Harrison Jr. in this particular instance. So check this out. If you guys remember, all the way back when Marvin Harrison Jr. was drafted, Adam Schefter came out and said more than 2 weeks after the draft, fans still cannot buy Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison's jersey, nor play with him in the video game Madden. 1 week later, we'd find out that Fanatics filed a lawsuit in New York Supreme Court against rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. for breach of contract. Harrison's team says it has no contract, while the lawsuit states that the two sides have signed an autograph agreement dating back to last May worth more than $1 million. And the details of this lawsuit are just so weird, man. I mean, Tyler Webb breaks it down remarkably here. So per the Pat McAfee show, top college players are typically offered a deal with Fanatics while still in school. This allows them to sell officially licensed jerseys, autographed memorabilia, and trading cards. However, these deals are typically 4 years long, meaning they often last into a player's second year in the NFL. This is a little predatory, with all due respect. Signing a bunch of collegiate athletes to this contract so they can make some pocket money before they become anyone significant in the NFL, and then having their contract going for 4 years when a lot of these players declare for the NFL draft a little bit earlier than that is just slightly predatory in my opinion, because whenever a player gets drafted in the NFL and fans are excited about that player, they're gonna go and buy his jersey. And by doing this, Fanatics makes a ton of money by barely paying anything for the rights of a player. So understanding this, Marvin Harrison Jr. never signed a Fanatics deal while in college, so he could negotiate a higher rate once he was drafted. Brilliant and savvy move. But to maintain his leverage with Fanatics, Marvin Harrison Jr. also did not sign his NFLPA licensing agreement, which allows for the use of his likeness in merchandise, trading cards, and Madden. So this is meant to say that Marvin Harrison Jr. was very careful about selling his likeness and his rights in these deals, saying that I don't really need the money. I'm just gonna wait, and if I wait a specific amount of time, the value of my likeness is going to increase because fans are gonna wanna buy my jersey once I get into the NFL. And Kurt Benkert even explains this. Younger players typically sign these deals to make quick and easy cash.
When I was in college, coming out in the NFL, I signed a deal with Panini, and I think I made $80,000 signing rookie cards. I had to sign 20,000 rookie cards.
Oh my God.
So it was in 2 batches. Some of them were on the cards, a lot of them were slips, but basically how it worked was I had 10,000 cards that I had to sign at $4 a pop. That was the first part of my deal. And this price per sign was negotiated based on where they believed you'd be picked up, what market you might go to, team, whatever. And so like I was heavily incentivized to get that deal done because I had no money to my name. I was getting paid from my agency like a living stipend, but I had made no money in college. I was coming out with nothing. Like I needed to make NFL money or I was gonna have to get a job. And so these deals with cards and stuff are typically signed early so that you can get some money in your pocket to give you some cushion until you get your first NFL paycheck. So for me, $40,000 in my first 10,000, and then they re-upped again for the second and completed my deal. I signed 20,000 slips for $80,000. For me, that's great at that time. You look at Marvin Harrison, when you come out of college with many millions of dollars, and these are the types of deals that are coming, maybe he's getting $20 a signature, who knows, right? Like could be making $500,000 signing 20,000 cards or 50,000, who knows what it is. When you've already made many millions and you have the leverage because you don't have to say yes, the ball's in your court to do what you want. And I'd imagine that he's probably fighting for an amended agreement that he gets a bigger percentage or a bigger whatever, that he feels he actually brings more value back to this NFLPA operation than they're bringing to him. From looking from the outside in, that's kind of how I see it.
But since Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't really need the money, he held out for a better deal. And in May of 2024, ESPN had reported that he signed a $1 million deal with Fanatics for autographs, signed trading cards, game work apparel, and other marketing opportunities. But this is where things get really dicey. Pat McAfee came out and said that Harrison hadn't signed such a deal, and Marvin Harrison Jr. even reposted this clip on X. His website, the official Harrison Collection, still states that it's the only website where you could purchase signed Harrison memorabilia.
This is not about the NFLPA. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be a part of the NFLPA when the time comes. But what I have been told is that this is not an NFLPA thing. A deal that is allegedly being pitched to sophomores in college who have a name by a company named Fanatics. I guess there was an offer made to Marvin Harrison Jr. whenever he was a sophomore in college, which has happened to a lot of guys, where if you sign it for a card deal, an autograph deal, it's for 4 years. So it goes all the way into like your second year in the NFL. Marvin Harrison, who doesn't need the money, said, we're not taking that deal. We're not signing that deal. So allegedly what's been happening behind the scenes is a potential tiff or beef between Fanatics and the Marvin Harrison camp. But just because everybody else is signing their rights away doesn't mean Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to do that. And I think this is a good message to the future college athletes. You don't have to do it either. So whenever they offer a little bit of an upfront worth of money for you to sign a deal, don't necessarily have to take that money. Even though it looks good, there's going to be more money later if you have enough confidence in yourself for it to make it. This is kind of what college football, NIL, is kind of at a tipping point, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably going to be the face of hopefully some change for the future.
Upon realizing this, Fanatics filed a lawsuit in in New York Supreme Court. The suit also claims that Harrison revealed confidential information to ESPN by reposting misleading videos. So pretty much where we're at right now is a huge game of he said, she said, and you can let me know what sounds more legit to you, because an article on CBS mentions that Fanatics previously filed a lawsuit against Harrison Jr. in May, alleging the former Ohio State standout breached an agreement to provide the company with autographed trading cards and partake in Fanatics promotions. Harrison, however, has since claimed the original deal was struck between Fanatics and the official Harrison Collection, a company selling autographed Harrison memorabilia. The wide receiver's contention is the official Harrison Collection does not represent Harrison, and the deal the company struck with Fanatics was actually signed by his dad. I was never requested to, nor did I ever sign any document that personally obligated me to do anything concerning the Fanatics agreement. His father even mentions that he negotiated and signed the deal on behalf of the official Harrison Collection LLC without participation from his son. The two sides also disagree on whether Harrison Jr. was paid by Fanatics as part of the agreement, with court filings on Harrison's side alleging Fanatics never paid the wideout or the Harrison Collection LLC, and Fanatics alleging that it made payments to Harrison Jr. in both August and October of 2023. So pretty much Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming out and saying that we never had a deal between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Fanatics, and as a result, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s jersey is not being sold. I really think Fanatics made a huge mistake pursuing this to this degree, because Marvin Harrison Jr. is a significant name, don't get me wrong, but you still have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Malik Neighbors. I mean, you have some very significant players in this NFL draft, which you already have the rights to, and the fact that you're blowing this out of proportion to this extent just because of your pride is going to tell future collegiate athletes that they can do this. Marvin Harrison Jr. was very well within his rights, and I think the huge problem here is a agreement is significantly different than a signed contract. Furthermore, a company that is affiliated with Marvin Harrison Jr. agreed to a contract with Fanatics, not Marvin Harrison Jr. himself, which is a very shrewd move, man, I gotta admit. I'd be annoyed as hell if a player was doing this crap to me, but it's within Marvin Harrison Jr.'s rights, and I gotta give him props. These incoming football stars are becoming more and more entrepreneurial. Whether it's Caleb Williams trying to negotiate equity in the team that selects him #1 overall, or Marvin Harrison Jr. refusing to sign a contract with Fanatics when the value to his rights are relatively low. It sucks that as a result of this, you still can't get a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey, because Fanatics plays a hand in fulfilling the orders for NFLshop.com and the NFLPA, and as a result of the way that Fanatics has handled this situation, they're probably going to get more players trying to do the same stuff to them. So I give props to Marvin Harrison Jr. for completely changing the game. It just sucks that the fans are getting the shittier end of the stick until this is all resolved. Let me know in the comment section down below, whose side are you on? Are you team Michael Rubin and Fanatics, or are you team Marvin Harrison Jr.? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.